Welcome to The Back and Forth, the show by co-parents,
for co-parents,
talking about the things that co-parents go through. I'm Kevin, and this is
Chanel.
Let's go! In 3, 2, and 1. All right, welcome everybody to The Back and Forth. I am Kevin, and this is my co-host,
Chanel.
And we're doing something unusual right now because I don't know why I just came in like that because you already know who we are. We are the host of the Back and Forth show, and we're here to talk. We're here as co-parents, talking to co-parents about the things that co-parents go through. It'll be down in the comments below. But Chanel,
Yes.
This week, before we get started, I want to make sure that you all hit that like, subscribe, and notification button so you all know when we put new content out there, because the last couple of shows, Chanel been let me slip, and I forget to put it in at the beginning. So I want to make sure you all hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. I did it twice already, just in case she forgets this time. So I want to make sure I'm on my toes. She's trying to keep me on my toes, trying to make sure I do what I'm doing.
Just make sure you don't slip being on your toes, okay, sir?
We don't want to slip and mess around and get my foot in the dough and I fall.
Okay, you know what? We're not doing that today.
All right, so, all right, Chanel, you know we always finding these good topics out here. We see some clips out there on social media, and they resonate with us because I have a challenge I always put myself. I always say, if I see a situation, how can I make that thing apply to co-parenting? And I saw this clip, and it was regarding a parent whose child was being bullied at school, and it seemed like nothing else was being done. I guess nothing to help the child out. And so this parent took it upon themselves to come up to the school, and that's when all the shenanigans ensued. Ooh. So Chanel, I'm gonna play this video, and I want you all in the audience to know I'm going to edit it because it goes from 0 to 60, escalates real quickly. And so I'm going to protect everybody's ears, but I want you just to see what's going on, and we'll have me and Chanel probably talking over some of it as they're going through, but you won't hear it, but you'll see his demeanor when he's trying to protect his child. You ready? Here we go. Put it in the middle. Here it goes.
I'm telling you, man. Get Ooh. Man, I will beat you.
Oh my God.
I don't give a man. You want to smile, boy? No. I'm telling you, boy. Get your you got a
Hey, please.
Okay. So, as you can see, Chanel, he wasn't mixing any words. You know, he was full of the Spirit. Holy Spirit was with him as he was speaking to them in the Christian tongue, as he relayed his point about his child being speaking in tongues, as he was talking about his child being bullied. But let me ask you a question, Chanel, and I want to see how you go with this. What is a parent supposed to do when their child is being bullied at school, and the child has done everything they can, and it seems like nobody else is helping, and now we have two different parents involved. We got one parent and the other parent. How do you think this thing can I want to be very careful with my words. How do you think this could play out when you got two different type of parents and we're trying to get the same thing resolved? And I'm asking you this for a reason, because I don't know if you've ever dealt with something like this personally, but this parent right here seemed like the calm, cool, and collected parent, if I may say so myself. So what do you say in that instance? How do you think that could affect a co-parenting relationship?
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me just make sure I'm getting this correct. You're talking about the parents of the child that's being bullied.
Yes.
Not the parent of the bullier.
Oh, that's another dynamic.
Yes, because I wanted to kind of speak on that too, on another way to handle this. But you're talking about the bullyee, the person that's being bullied.
Well, the person being bullied.
Okay, the parents of the person that's being bullied.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So I think we should deal with both of them, but let's talk about the bullyee. Okay. So one parent, hopefully, let's just say this, because some people have some really dynamic relationships. Okay. Mm. 2 of them parents could be 10. Like they could just have a whole dynamic where they both go off, and that's just how they do. That's part of what attracted them to each other, and they had the got the foot in the door, and then had the kid. Okay, so it's not always the case where there's one calm parent and one hyper parent. It may be 2 hyper parents. Mm-hmm. He might have just been the calmer of the hyper. Okay. But I will say this, that again, we go right back to that communication. Good co-parents understand that there's strengths and there's areas of opportunity in each of you. And hopefully, if you're working together as a team and as a unit, you recognize your areas where you need more help in, and you recognize the areas that you're most strong in. I will say for me personally, I would say I'm more of the calm, logical one sometimes when it comes to communicating, because I try to be solution oriented. Like, okay, we're trying to get to a solution, not cause more chaos. My son's father, though, he's more logical throughout the duration, but then when you push him there, he just takes off. Okay. And you're trying to rein him back in, but you can't even find him because he's out there. He's just out there. Okay. So we recognize where we both are in terms of dealing with conflict. And when there's a conflict at the school, generally we have learned, let's talk about it together first and figure out who's gonna handle it, who's best suited, who's best knowledgeable to handle it, who has the most information about it, who can be the best advocate, for our son. And so as parents of the bullyee, I think that there's definitely another way to handle this to get to a solution long term. I think the way that this father was handling it was maybe a short term solution, but it's certainly not a long term solution for the child that's being bullied or the bullier. I think the school could have also handled it differently as well, but we'll talk about that when we get to that portion. But as far as like the co-parents part, you've got to know who you're co-parenting with. I can't say that enough. I think we can't say that enough, Kev. Yeah. That you've got to know. I don't care how much you like or don't like that other parent. You still got to recognize the areas that person is strong in and the areas that person may need a little bit of help in. And hopefully, if you guys have a civil enough relationship, you can work together on how to be the best advocate for your kid. Because it's not about who's the best parent. We're not trying to fight that battle right now. We're trying to make sure that we can both be the best advocate that we can. And in every situation, who's the best at it? I may be the best at taking my kid to the doctor for their shots. He may be better at, talking to the football coach or the basketball coach, So I can't be up there and be like, I want to talk to the basketball coach because I don't know nothing about how to do that, So I'm going to rely on him because he's better at that kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. But here's the thing. I'm going to play the contrarian here.
Okay.
Because, somebody has to do it. So we saw the nice young man speaking in tongues to the staff there about what was going on with their child. But I ask you this. I don't need an answer. I ask you this. What is a parent to do when a child comes to them at wit's end telling them they're being bullied and nobody's helping? Mm-hmm. Knowing what we know today about how some children are not built the same way and mentally they may not be able to handle this. Mm-hmm. And you never know what's going to push somebody over the edge to do something that there's no coming back from. Mm-hmm. and in the same point, and I want to say this is why I brought this up. Who's to say that parent this didn't trigger that parent? Maybe that parent went through something when they were younger and they were bullied and they were about at wit's end, and they were just at this point where something that their child said to them made them snap.
Mm-hmm.
And now
that's why you got to know the other co-parent.
And now we are dealing with our past issues. We are bringing our past issues to this situation that we're in right now, because we never truly got through what we went through as a child. And so now we are pulling it all out and we're putting it on the table right here in front of everybody.
Good. That's good.
And so now we see this video here, this parent going off, speaking in tongues and all other kind of languages to the staff and the people. And he's doing everything short of not getting into that child's face and jacking that child up who's bullying their child.
Yeah.
And so at the same time, you said we're going to talk about it a little bit later. I want to tell you something, because in the video, the person that filmed it was on the staff and they were giggling. So now you got this parent who's dead serious about something but their child, and you got another staff member there giggling and filming it. Mm-hmm. So now this parent is doubly now. It's layers on layers on this right now. Mm-hmm. And the one faculty member there saying, okay, we got it. Okay, calm down. He's not gonna get calm right now.
No.
He's boiled over. His cup runneth over now.
Yes.
Of festivity. He's pissed.
Yes.
And
there's
so
no calming down.
There's no calming down right now.
Mm-mm.
And so all he wants is an answer to what's going to be done, because he's at the point he's probably about to lay hands on that child.
Absolutely. And
that's not what he wanted to be. And that's not what he wanted to do. Because this rolls into what you were talking about the parent of the bullier.
Yes.
So now, as a parent of the bullier, how does this sit with you if you see this man going off on your child, even though your child might be guilty of doing something wrong, but you got a grown person going off on a child?
Yeah.
You see, there's so many dynamics in this thing.
So many. And, you know what? You just inspired me, Kev, because,
Thank you.
I will say, you always inspire me, Kev. You really do. But, that's why it's important to have people. I know we have educators and administrators, but they got to really understand the world that we're living in. We're living in a world where most of the kids in there are in homes that the parents aren't together. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then being bullied by somebody that their parents aren't together, where is the root of this coming from? And I know they teach psychology and, when you go through school and all of that, but the deeper part of it is how do we make sure that these parents don't come for each other? Because, okay, the teacher is trying to manage 30 kids. She can't, or he can't, pinpoint every single thing that every kid in there is doing, right? Mm-hmm. So this comes to the attention that this kid is being bullied, okay? So now we have to have a mediator come in and mediate between these two parents to guide them towards a solution to where this kid can get a quality education and this kid can still get a quality education. Okay. And then at that point, both parents feel like that they have been heard. Mm-hmm. This dad was not heard. Either he wasn't heard as a kid, he hasn't been heard by the school, he hasn't been heard by somebody. And he was making sure he was being heard today. Yeah. And we heard him. Yeah. But not one staff member said, "Sir, I got you. I hear you." Yeah. They tell him that's the worst thing you can say to somebody when they have every reason to be mad and upset. Yeah. I hear you. That's what they want. They want to be heard, because he kept getting louder and louder, and his words kept getting more and more vulgar, because he said, "Y'all gonna hear me today. Y'all have not heard my daughter or son, whoever it was. Y'all haven't heard her, so y'all gonna hear me. Yeah. Y'all gonna hear me roar for real." And so how do we get these, again, how do we make sure that, because at the end of the day, we got to be solution oriented. How do we get these kids to continue to get a quality education and not have someone coming for someone physically? Yes. At the end of the day, because I guarantee you, if this father is not being heard and this child continues to be bullied, something is happening. Yeah. Something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen. Yeah. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And that's a great some great points there, Chanel, because we see the video and yeah, you could pass judgment real quick, saying, oh, look, there you go, unruly, he, a vulgar person, he don't deserve to be listened to because he don't even know how to control himself in this type of situation. But who are we to judge? What if that was your child? How would you
Right.
react? Are you gonna say you're gonna go up there rationally and be like, "Hi, just come to speak on the behalf of my child who just was being bullied by so and so. Just like to talk to somebody like that." We know reality is this right here. Your child, you gonna react, but you're gonna go back to your natural state. And if you're trying to protect your child, then you can do everything within your power to protect your child.
Absolutely.
If your child's coming home crying, saying they've been bullied or something going on, then you may drop everything you have right there at that point and come take care of that business. So we shouldn't be sitting there playing armchair quarterback and saying that what I would do is this right here. Nope, we don't know everybody's situation. We don't know everybody's mental state. We don't know everybody's personality. Because some people don't have that in check. And so they react the best way they know how, and that may be loudly. And that's what he did. And so we have to, even from the staff standpoint, you have to know how to de-escalate these type of situations.
Yes, that's the word right there. How do we de-escalate it so that both the quality of the conditions and the environment at the school is tolerable and enjoyable. You don't want your kids to hate going to school. I mean, they hate going to school because they don't want to do the work, but to hate going to school because they don't know, they feel unsafe. Yeah. And so, how far do we take this? Do we take this to a legal standpoint where it's an harassment charge? How far do we take it? And as a school, I would imagine, especially at the administrative level, that you would have some type of conflict management training to the point where you are de-escalating it so that it doesn't go into the legal, it doesn't get legal like that. Because how do you have a protective order at a school? How do you do that?
The kids got to learn, and the kids also have to learn how to get along. And we as parents got to know our place, and we have to know there are lines we can't cross. And one of the things we cannot do is come up to that school and cross that line and put our hands on somebody else's child, because then you could be in jail, and what good is that going to do your child now?
Exactly.
Yes, you try to protect your child, but now you going to jail. And now who's with your child? Now your child's go to the other parent. And so we have to be careful. We still have to be the adult in the situation because they are children and they are learning. And the thing about it, growing up the way I grew up, a bully is just another person later on. The same bully may be your friend a year or two from now, because once you learn how to get along. But nowadays it's a little bit different because we got social media involved. And so we can't play this out like we would play it out when we were younger. Things are different, times are different, and children get they're affected differently by different things. And so that's why it's important that we get to communicate with our kids so they know they can come to us and talk to us about these things and let us know what's going on in their lives, and don't just sweep it on their rug if they are giving you signs that things are going bad at school. So be on the lookout, be on the listen. And Chanel, great week, great topic. You did a great job as usual. I'm just here to support you in your endeavors. So can you tell the people how they can reach you, how to get in contact with you?
Okay, let me get this straight. Okay, let me get this straight, Kev.
Okay.
We are co-hosts.
Co-hosts. Like
we are co-hosts.
Co-hosts.
So you are not supporting me in we are working together.
You said co-host, right?
Co-host, yes.
HOST.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you said something else.
Oh my goodness, I'm done.
Okay. So I'm saying, I'm about to say, because I'm not in that business, because
listen, y'all do not, please don't pay attention to Kev. I mean, outside of the whole discussion, once he gets off of the discussion and we just chatting, please don't pay him no mind, because he takes us all the way off the rails. But we are co-hosting this show together, so that we are putting we are giving you guys quality information and just a different perspective on how you can handle these situations in your lives, because this is real stuff that we're bringing to the table here. Kev and I are both coaches, And we have real live situations that we may give you an example about in this show. And so I hope that, you guys are obtaining the message that we're receiving in the way that it's intended. Because again, I told y'all before, Kev inspires me every single time we put the show together. And so, again, I hope that you guys are really, really seriously taking in this information and applying it to your lives, and really just taking a step back and looking at how you can do things a little bit more effectively and solution oriented for your children as well. So, what was I supposed to be talking about, Kev? How they can find me?
It's sort of bad when you have to answer. You ask a question, you answered it because you knew that's what the question was. You knew exactly where you was going with this. I wish you go ahead and tell the people where they can find you at and what they can. Sheesh.
It's probably already scrolling at the bottom of my screen. But after you hit like, subscribe, please notify me when y'all go live. After you do all of that, make sure that you go down in our description box and follow me on Instagram at Chanel Renee Speaks, or you can go to the link pricesandbeyond.org and follow me on IG, and you can see all of the abundance of things that I have available for all of your enjoyment and for your acceleration in life. So Kev.
Yes.
Kev.
Yes.
Kev.
Yes, Chanel.
How can you inspire the people today? Where can they find you?
The people can find me on IG at Kevin_L Scott on IG. And while you're on there, you see all the things I post out there on IGs for you in the co-parenting communication lane. I'm always post stuff to help you out with your co-parenting and communication skills. But you can also go on the link in my bio and see the plethora of things that I have to offer, because Chanel tried to use another word besides plethora. She tried to use abundance. I've used abundance before. She's not even original. I just want to make sure I let people know that. So go to my link and see what I have to offer out there. Be on the lookout for new things coming. And if you get a chance, I'm going to put another survey out there for my co-parents to find out the unique situation they've gone through. I think I'm going to do that a little bit later. So whenever you see this, just go out to my link, see if it's out there. Click on that link in that survey and fill it out if you have a chance. And make sure you go out there and peruse through the things that we have to offer on our pages. And that's all we have to offer you all today. Since Chanel went so long-winded on hers, I'm just going to give it back to her. But before I give it back to her, I want you all to stay safe and be blessed. And Chanel?
Yes, and keep putting God first. Keep putting God first in your relationship, and make sure you keep him on the main line. And just tell him what you want. Amen. And we out.
And don't be out here speaking in tongues. We out.